Good morning. YouTube. What's going on? Thought I'd do a live feed real quick. Real quick. What's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. So what's going on, YouTube? Bounty, the trucker. What's going on? Yeah, man. Good morning. When do I sleep? I just woke up. Had to deliver this load real quick. Yeah, that's the point of my videos, is to help y'all get a truck. Get y'all see the light. Now, it ain't gonna be easy. You gotta stack your money up. You gotta stack your money up. Get a truck. You know, it took me a long time to get to this point. A really long time. I didn't realize how long it took me to get to this point. You know? Like, it's crazy. Like, I got my authority. It's crazy. I can't believe I got my authority. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. Like, I just be sitting back. Like, I be like, man, I got my own authority. I got my own truck and trailer. It's crazy. But oh, y'all got questions today. What y'all talking about? Rich the trucker, he say, hold on. Kurt's Logistics, what you talking about? Kurt Logistics. Yeah, appreciate you watching my videos. Rich the trucker, he say, he got a question. He say, if your credit score is in the 600s and rising, what chances do you have applying for business credit? I'm just gonna tell you, man, Rich the trucker, according to the rules, according to, you know, the laws of business credit, like a lot of these business credit type rules and stuff, they're insider guidelines. It's like, okay, for example, Dean Cole. Dean Cole used to work for some of the major banks, right? Now it's almost like if you worked, for example, like with Snyder, like the president of Snyder, he came up with the choice board. Then I think he got fired or he left or he got, whatever the case may be, he went over to Interstate. And then he went over to Interstate and created the Freedom Board. That same concept he took from Snyder and he went over to Interstate. Interstate got bought up by Heartland, but that's not the point. The point is, when these rules, that when it comes to business credit, they came from the banks. Okay, that those ideas, the philosophy, all of that, all those rules and those guidelines, they came from the banks. But you got guys who used to work for the banks. They left. Now they create their own little side business. You know, they get into other, you know, consultant businesses, you know, alternative finance type businesses. For example, like Dean Cole. It's a lot of Dean Coles out here. Dean Cole is not the only guy that does alternative financing. It just so happened, you know, he's a black guy and he has some family members that's in trucking, and he can relate to us truck drivers because he's got family members in trucking. He knows a lot of people in the transportation business. So he makes videos about trucking, and I think he's got a couple trucks himself. He don't talk about that stuff, but you know. So the point is that all that information came from somewhere. So I just want to make a point. Okay, you got people like Dean Cole that give out this information. They sell it or whatever the case may be, which is fine. I know a lot of people don't like Dean Cole. Whatever the reason may be, I don't understand why guys don't like Dean Cole. But the point is, okay, you got to go and find the information. Okay, they're people that know what the hell they're talking about. I was about to cuss. Woo! I was about to cuss, man. You got to find people who know what they're talking about. A lot of people don't like Dean Cole, but hey, if I told you I used to work for, if I used to work for Bank of America for 10 years and I sold millions of dollars in loans, and I came to you and say, hey man, I know how to get you approved. Do this, don't do that. Do this and don't do that. You got to listen. You got to listen. Because you don't know what to do, but I do. I used to work for the banks. It's just like me. It's just like me being in trucking for 10 years and like me knowing what to do, how to get a CDL, how to get a truck. You know what I'm saying? So now back to this credit score question. He said, Rich the Trucker said, if your credit score is in the 600s and rising, what chances do you have applying for business credit? I'm just going to tell you, man, I know this is like a long explanation. We got, how long I've been talking? I ain't said nothing yet. But I have to talk behind myself so I can get to the question. Because a lot of guys, they really don't know. It's just like, I know I'm going to get like 20 guys in the comments talking shit. I'm going to get 20 guys in the comments just blah, blah. I hate Dean Cole. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but you got a 600 credit score. It's like, really? You don't like Dean Cole? Okay. All right, hold on. I'm just going to tell you, man, if you got a 600 credit score, you're not ready for business credit. Because when you apply for any type of commercial type lending, when you a small business owner, the lenders, they're going to go based on your personal. Okay? They're going to go based on your personal credit. So it's not that they use your personal credit for the loan. It's just that they look at your personal. If your business don't have a profile of any kind, they're going to look at your personal. And for somebody like you who never, if you don't have a business profile, you never going, you don't have nothing to go by. You don't have a business profile. So they're going to look at your personal and say, oh, okay, you got a $10,000 credit card. We can give you a $3,000 business credit card. So with a 600 credit score, the rules say don't apply for no business lending until you get to like a 720. You got to have a 720 or better for them to give you some type of business lending. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to work on your personal credit and get it squeaky clean and get it up to about a 720, 730, 740. I recommend you just going to work hard. You just going to have to work hard. You're going to have to clear out all your debt and get maybe, and you're gonna have to, what you're gonna have to do is get you a couple credit cards. If you got a car note, make sure you pay that on time. If you got a mortgage, pay that on time. And just get maybe some small credit. Get you a little small credit card. I say at least $10,000. Try to get a personal credit card up to about $10,000, because if you get a $10,000 personal credit card, when you apply for some business credit, they either gonna match it and give you a higher limit. You want to have at least 5,000, because if there's this like ceiling, this lending ceiling that they have in the system. I think it's somewhere around 3,000 to 5,000, depending on which bank you talk to. You got to have at least $3,000 credit card. But depending on the bank, some is 3, some is 4, some is 5. But you got to get past 2,000, man, because if you're below 3, if you have a credit card if you got any kind of outstanding loan that's below $2,000 or $3,000, you're never gonna get above that limit. You just ain't never gonna get it. You gotta break 5,000. Once you break a loan that's more than $5,000, now you're gonna start to see, when you start applying, you're gonna see credit cards of 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. You know what I'm saying? But it takes time. You got to work on that personal first. Don't worry about that business. You got to work on that personal. That's just the moral of the story. Work on your personal. You got to work on your personal, because I'm making this video about business credit. You got to work on that personal, because I remember, I would say maybe 5, 6 years ago, I couldn't get, every time I apply for a credit card, I get a $2,000 limit. Every time I apply for a credit card, I get a $2,000, $3,000 limit. And that stuff just pissed me off, man. I mean, I was a truck driver. I'm making $50,000, $55,000 a year. I got a house. I got, you know what I mean? Like, I got a car note. I could never break $2,000, $3,000 when it comes to a credit card. So, what I recommend is going to a credit union. Go find your credit union, a local credit union. I don't care. A lot of people like Navy Federal Credit Union, but just find your credit union. I don't know what state you in. If you're in Alabama, find an Alabama state credit union. They got all kind of credit unions. You know, Mississippi, whatever state, Texas credit union, whatever. Just find a credit union or small community bank, because credit unions and small community banks are more flexible on their lending. So, a credit union has done me wonders. Like with me, I got 2 credit cards at my credit union. I got a $50,000 credit line. Now that's a personal credit card. And then on my business, I got a $30,000 credit limit. And then I got a 15 and a 10. Now that's a business credit card. I don't use it that much, but I just have it open so it'll report. I'll buy like $10 on something, and then I'll let it sit there for about a month, then pay it off. Then I'll buy like $1,000 on something, and then I'll let it sit there for about a month, a billing cycle, then pay it off. You want that stuff to report. You want that stuff to report. You just want it report. I don't care about the credit line. I don't care nothing about that. I just need, you need that high balance. You need that high credit limit reporting. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that I got these high credit lines, that's not to brag. I'm just trying to tell you what you need to do. You got to work up to it. Don't be worried about that business. If you got below 720, do not worry about business credit. You need to work on your personal. You got to get that personal straightened out. You want to get your credit lines below 30% of the limit. So if you get a $5,000 credit card, I wouldn't put no more than $1,000 on it. So, you know, you can buy gas. Just everyday stuff. Buy gas on there, buy food, regular everyday stuff. Put about 500 to 1,000 on there. Pay it off. Now you want to go through you want to let it go through a billing cycle, so that way it'll report on your credit, and then you pay it off. Because a lot of people, what they do is they'll buy stuff on a credit card, and then the next day pay it off. Don't do that. Let it sit on your credit. Let it go through a billing cycle, then pay it off. So that way to report, because it takes 29 days. It takes 29 days for the credit, the lender, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whoever, to report that information. It takes them 29 days. It depends on their reporting, but generally most banks are 29 days. You know, I would try to go and get a car loan. If you don't have a car, go and try to get you a car, about 10, 15,000. Pay that off. Get it, 36 months, pay it off. You want the data. That's what you're looking for. You want that stuff to report. But anyway, don't worry about the business, man. If you got 600 credit score, don't worry about that business, because you won't get approved for nothing. I'm just going to tell you. It's not to throw shade at you, to holler at you. I'm telling you what you got to do. If you got a 600 credit score, you ain't going to get approved for nothing. I'm just going to tell you. You just not going to get approved for nothing. But, all right. But yeah, that's business credit, man. So it's 2018. Yeah, we could probably say that 2018, I'm gonna probably be running on my authority, hopefully. Have you ever checked freight out of Chicago with Traveloka? Let me explain something to y'all. Traveloka does not have any customer freight. Traveloka isn't like a Snyder or a JB Hunt. They're not a carrier like that. Traveloka is more of they're a non-asset based company. So they don't own no trucks. They don't have no companies, no company accounts or something like that. The way that I get my freight is contingent on me going on the load boards. If I go on the DAC board, or if I go on the 123 load board, if I go on Uber Freight, okay, these are companies with freight, with customer relationships. Now, Traveloka may have some customer relationships, but see, I know a lot of guys trying to come over to Traveloka, and with guys are not looking at, they're not seeing the right, they're not looking at it properly. It's like, okay, oh, I'm gonna go over to Traveloka because they got freight. No, Traveloka don't have no freight. Like, if I get my own authority, or if I stay at Traveloka, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I do the same thing. Now, Traveloka may have some relationships that's built up with brokers, when it comes to running a certain area, you know what I'm saying? But generally, 99.9% of my freight comes off the load boards. And that's just what it is. So if you're going to come over to Traveloka, you might as well get your authority. But it's kind of like you on training wheels. You're an operator on training wheels. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to find out if there's freight in Chicago, which that's a silly question to ask, because it's Chicago. Chicago is one of the biggest hubs in the country when it comes to freight. You got Atlanta, you got the Northeast, like New Jersey, New York, Chicago. Chicago runs the Midwest when it comes to freight. Chicago is the Atlanta of the Midwest. Okay, Atlanta is a freight hub. Everything that goes back and forth across the country, it has to go through Atlanta. In some way or another, if freight going across the country, it has to go through Chicago. It has to go through Chicago. So Chicago is a big freight hub. So yes, there's a lot of freight in Chicago. It has nothing to do with Travel Local. You can go onto a load board and see all that fucking freight that's coming out of Chicago. It's a lot of freight coming out of Chicago. Like, you can stand in the middle of an intersection in Chicago and watch all these trucks all day long, just trucks all day long. It's a lot of freight in Chicago. You can go down there on I-80 in Gary, Indiana, over there on over there off of I-80, and just watch all them trucks. All them trucks all day long. Yeah, it's a lot of freight in Chicago. I'm sure it is. That's me not, because I ain't been up in Chicago in a long time. It's been a long time since I've been up there. It's been maybe a couple years, but yeah, it's a lot of freight. Freight coming out of Chicago usually pays well coming down to the south, but to go back up, loads don't really pay much to go back up, because it's kind of like Florida. It's kind of like going from Atlanta to Miami. Like, rates pay real good to go down to Miami, but they don't pay good to come out. It's the same thing, because it's just how the lanes work. And just like how Dallas, Texas is the trucking hub of the Southwest, and then you got LA, and you got places in between, Phoenix, et cetera, et cetera. So just go on a load board, man. Just find you got Trucker Path. Trucker Path got a free load board. It's free. Just go to Trucker Path, download the load board app, and you can see all the freight. You can do a market analysis and understand, okay, yeah, it's a lot of freight. It's a lot of fucking freight on there. You know what I mean? Just check it, and it's all this freight. And you just gotta watch the board, and see all that freight. You can make that decision on your own. It's, it have nothing to do with Travel Local, man. Because Travel Local don't have no freight. They just don't have freight like that. Like, you're thinking like Travel Local is like a Snyder that's got customer accounts, and they can facilitate customer accounts. Travel Local don't have no freight, man. I have to physically go on the load boards, call these brokers up, and I don't know how to explain it to you, because like a lot of guys, they treat Travel Local like a Swift, or they treat Travel Local like a Snyder or something. It's different. It's a different business model. Travel Local is just a middleman in the conversation. They don't. YETV is good information channel. YETV Tunchi. Tunchi. Yeah, he a cool dude, but Tunchi, I like his videos, but they're a little dry to me. I think they need to be more elaborate. Is Tunchi's videos, they give information, but it needs to be more. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be like, he has a video how to get your authority, right? He'll have a video just saying, you do this, and do this, and it'll be a 5-minute video. But to getting your authority, it's more to just, okay, going online, applying, do this, get some plates. Oh, it's gonna cost about 10-15,000, and do this. And it's more to it to getting your authority than that. Like, if I was to do a video on how to get your authority, the video gonna be about 2 hours. It's gonna be about 2 hours, because it's more than just saying, oh, you going on. Because if I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pull it up on my computer and show you how to do the application. Okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. Okay, boom. I'm gonna show you how to go get your plates. I'm gonna show you how to get your insurance. I'm gonna show you how to do this. I'm gonna show you how to do your UCR filing. I'm gonna show you how to build your driver file. I'm gonna show you what kind of insurance to get. I'm gonna show you what kind of trailer to get. If I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show you. So I like Tunchi. He makes some good videos, but if you're gonna show somebody and have a how-to on how to do something, you need to have a video on a how-to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it need to be part 1, part 2, part 3. It has to be really long and elaborate. And I'm gonna show you. If I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show you. And when my videos, when I show you how to do something, I show you how to do it. I know a lot of guys don't like my videos. They be real long and da. But I need to get you understanding, okay, this is the situation. You need to understand the big picture. Because a lot of guys be like, oh, get your authority. No, dog, it's not that easy. Like, you just don't run out and get your authority and be running freight in 2 days. No, it don't work like that, man. You looking at least 30 to 45 days to be up and running, full force, pulling freight. And some guys, they probably gonna yell at me about, no, it don't take that long. Okay, you tell that lie if you want to. You tell that lie. But you're looking at a good 30 to 45 days. It's gonna take 20 days just for your authority to become active. And then all the other stuff in between, you got to set up with brokers. You got to call brokers up and figure out which brokers that'll take you as a new entrant carrier. Not all the brokers going to take you. It's only a few brokers that's going to take you. Okay. And then you got to figure that out. Then you got to sign up carrier package. You got to do this. It's like all that stuff in between. You're not going to be running full force until maybe 30 to 45 days. And that's just real talk. Is Traveloco still good? Traveloco, they all right. I mean, they all right. I mean, if you're comfortable with giving up 10, 15% of your money, you know, it's all right. Like I would say, if you're going to come over to Traveloco, I wouldn't stay over here more than 6 months to a year. You know, because you're giving up a lot of money. You're giving up a lot of money. I mean, because you do have a dispatcher that work with you, you know. And like a lot of guys, you know, they hear the word dispatcher, like they get emotional about it. Dispatcher, I would never get a dispatcher. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, my dispatcher, we are a business partnership. He don't tell me what to do, and I don't tell him what to do. We don't yell at each other or nothing like that. It's a business partnership. So like he takes care of my back end stuff. He signs my rate cons for me. He collects my lumper fees for me. He collects my TONUs for me. He tells the brokers whether I'm gonna be on time or late or not. He's like my right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like he negotiate loads for me sometimes. It's like sometimes I'll find a load and sometimes he'll find a load. He'll call me about a load and I'll be like, no, I don't like that load. You think you can get $200 on it? He'll call the broker back and be like, yeah, okay, I got you $200 more on it. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? We're a team, man. It's like, see, a lot of guys get caught up in the idea of thinking if you got a dispatcher, they think about it. They think about it like you're a company driver. Like as a company driver, you got a supervisor, a boss telling you what to do. It don't work like that. When you got your own truck and trailer and you got a dispatcher, quote unquote, at Traveloco, it don't work like that. It's more of a team business partnership. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind having a dispatcher because he does some things for me on the back end that I don't like to deal with. You know, like if I'm driving down the road and a customer calling me, hey, when you gonna be there on time? You know, it's like, you handle that, man. I'm trying to drive down the road, man. You know, or you know, trying to collect a lumper fee or something like that. I just call him and say, hey, man, I got 3 hours detention. Can you call this broker up and get a new rate con on this detention? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if I got a $1,500 load, I got 3 hours detention, that's another $200. Send me the rate con, boop, boop, boop. He handles that stuff. I don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But for the 10, 15%, I don't think it's worth it. But, you know, you get to learn and come out here. You got the backing of a company because you're going to always have work. You know what I'm saying? So just understand you're going to always have work because with a company like Traveloco, it's like they're about revenue. So if anything, you're going to have a load on you. But see, the difference is when you got your own authority, you don't have no dispatcher. You don't have no person making sure you got freight on you. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is like, when I go home, my dispatcher, he'll call me and say, hey, man, what you doing for next week? Are you working? You need a load? He always making sure I'm taken care of. If I don't have no load on me, he always call me and make sure I'm taken care of. So like, I can just go head on home. I can sleep and not worry about looking for loads. And he could be looking for loads for me for Monday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever I'm trying to do. So it's like, there's a time and place for Travel Loco, and it just depends on whether you think that's worth it. You know what I'm saying? To have a dispatcher. I bump into guys, they say they like having a dispatcher, and I can see their point. I can respect that, just because it's like, okay, if sometimes you just don't feel like getting on that load board and calling up a bunch of brokers. It's a lot of work sometimes, you know. Like, there've been times where I sat all day long looking for loads, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, calling up brokers back to back, back to back, back to back. That stuff is exhausting, man. It's exhausting. But to have a guy to just do that for you, hey, I can focus on something else. And it's a time management thing, you know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to get your authority, I say it's a stepping stone, you know. If you're trying to get your authority, I say it's a stepping stone, because you learn how to deal with brokers. You can build some customer relationships with some brokers. I can tell you right now, I got about at least 30 brokers that I can call on for freight when I get my own authority. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's you need that. Now, I know a lot of guys, they go and get their authority cold turkey. That's fine. They just jump out here and just make the shit work. Fine. But for me and how I work, I need to get a feel for something before I actually do it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I work. So if you know you trying to get your authority in maybe 6 months, I would go ahead and apply for your authority, and at least get your DOT numbers and stuff like that, and go ahead on and get on with a company like Travel Loco, because there are a bunch of companies that are non-asset based like Travel Loco. Learn how to deal with brokers. Get some broker relationships, because there are a couple brokers that I work with. They know me by name. But like, hey man, what's going on? You know, they know me by name. And I told them, it's like, hey man, I got my own authority, and I'm planning on to be running on my own DOT numbers on this such and such date. Like, okay man, no problem, man. You know, and just let me know, and I'll see if I can find some reloads for you. Boop, boop, boop. Already got the relationship all out of the way, and that's important. So that to me is worth taking my time 3, 4, 5, 6 months to look at a broader picture, at a business plan, to see where I need to go. You know what I mean? Because I'm not starting cold turkey. I already got a trailer, I already got the base plates, already, it already got my stuff laid out. So it was just a matter of completing the application and going forward. So, and a lot of guys just think getting the authority is just easy. No, it ain't, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work getting your authority off the ground. I got to get an ELD program together. I ordered my ELD program. I got to get a drug consortium. That's a drug screening consortium. I got to set up a driver file. You got to set up a carrier file. You got to do this. You got to get your insurance. It's a lot of stuff to do. And a lot of guys just be like, yeah, go get whatever, man. Don't act like that stuff is just a cakewalk. But once you get it done, it's cool. But anyway, I'm rambling, running my mouth. Do credit unions have business? You got to call the credit unions up, man, and figure it out. Haywood Bryant Jr. Do credit unions have business accounts? Some of them do, some of them don't. You got to get on Google. See, look. It's a computer. You get on Google and you type in Credit unions with business accounts. Search, and it'll come up. Simple as that. Thanks, man. Appreciate valuable information. Yeah, man. Appreciate you watching my videos, man. I live in Illinois, Chicago, 30 minutes from Chicago. Yeah, man, there's plenty of freight in Chicago, man. You don't have nothing to worry about that. Like, if you want to drive local, whatever you want to do, get your own truck, whatever you want to do, Chicago, you're going to have plenty of freight. Like, I know guys who run from Chicago to St. Louis and back, I-55. I know guys who run Chicago to Indianapolis, down to Cincinnati. That freight lane, the Midwest is popping, man. The Midwest is popping when it comes to freight. I know guys who run let me see. I know guys who run I-80, you know, because you got to be careful, because a lot of these lanes, you got to compete with mega carriers. So they're able to run this freight cheap. That's why freight is cheap coming in certain directions on a certain lane. Like I-80 going across the country, that's a doubles lane. And like mega carriers got that on lock, you know, because you got rail and you got you know, these companies that's pulling double trailers across the I-80, the turnpike going across Ohio, and then you got I-80 going all the way out to Utah, going up and then up and down I-15. So it's like, as a guy with a truck, you got to find your way in the business to compete. You know what I mean? And like most of the time for a small carrier, if you're trying to get your authority, the only way you can compete is pretty much running short runs. Running across the country, that shit is gone, man. You're not going to make no money doing that. You know, you're not going to make no money doing that. The way that you make money is running short runs. You know, for, I would say 500 miles or less. And that's where guys with their own truck compete. That's where the bigger dollar revenue is, because it's like running all across the country 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles. It ain't no money in them. It ain't no money in them loads. What's up, Big Money? You funny. What's going on, Jeff? What's going on? Jeff is a trip. He talking about what's going on, Big Money. I'm up here running my mouth. You would do well with your own authority. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jeff. Do you get pulled into the scale a lot? Nah. Well, with my own authority, I don't know, man. Let me tell you something about the DOT. And that's why I got a brand new trailer. And the reasons why I got a new trailer is because I've been talking to Jeff, and you know, he be talking about stuff in his videos. And he brought up a point, is that, okay, when you roll through a scale and you got a raggedy trailer, your chances of getting inspected is high, especially when you're an independent carrier, small independent carrier, 1, 2, 3 truck operation. So you want to alleviate your chances of getting pulled in. So if you got a raggedy behind trailer, you have a high chance of getting pulled in. So that's why I went ahead and got a new trailer, because depending on which scale bypass that you sign up with, I had pre-pass. I canceled my pre-pass subscription, and I got a what's the name of this thing? Hold on. Yeah, Drivewise. I signed up for Drivewise. It's $14 a month. And with Drivewise, you gotta post a picture of your truck on Drivewise. And see, with DriveWise, the DOT gets to see your equipment before you even get to the scale. And that's important. I got a picture of my truck on a bright sunny day. My truck looks brand new. You want that. You want that. And depending on how old your truck is, depending on the age of your truck, your insurance company, they may want a picture of your truck. Like I know guys with some older trucks. If you got a truck that's older than 10 years, you got to give your insurance company a picture of your truck. You got to take a picture of your equipment. So my point being is that, okay, that kind of, what a point I'm trying to make, that dictates how many times you're going to get pulled through the scale. Since I've been at Travel Loco, I haven't gotten an inspection, knock on wood. I don't get pulled in the scales that often. Now, and then in an event, I do get pulled in the scales. In an event I do get pulled in the scales, they pulling everybody in the scales anyway. So it's almost like I was still at Snyder. I don't see a difference. So do you get pulled in? So to answer your question, do I get pulled in the scales a lot? I think it all depends on the quality of your equipment. That's what I think it depends on, whether you're getting pulled in the scale. Yeah, your DOT record, your CSA score, that has something to do with it. But these guys, you want to give a good, you want to get a good, clean presentation of your business. So if you got your own authority, you're probably going to get pulled in the scales a lot the first couple times. But once you get in the system and they start to see, yeah, this guy has got a brand new truck and trailer, he's got good quality equipment, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if they put me in, they could probably find something. But you don't want them. You don't want them to you don't want them to give them that first impression. You want to give an impression that this guy is serious about business and he's got good quality equipment. You got a guy with a raggedy behind trailer, raggedy truck, he's gonna get pulled in automatically. Like, come on in here, come on in here. You know what I'm saying? Philip, I never got pulled in the scale with my own authority. See, and I think the reason why, Jeffrey L., he never got pulled in the scale. I think the reason why is because he's got good equipment. He's got a 2014, I think it's a 2014, 2015 Volvo. And he's got a, 2017 trailer. So he's got good quality equipment. You know, like them DOT officers got to work hard to pull him in the scales. Because you rolling down the road in good, solid equipment. There's no reason to pull him in. Now, if you see a guy with an old 2005 Freightliner Century with an old 2004 beat-up Snyder trailer, yeah, they're going to pull you in. Come on in here. I got to buy a van. Do you have any suggestions? You going to buy a van trailer? Yeah, man, that's good. I wish I can go back. I mean, if you could, I would see if you can find, I would see if you can find see if you can buy a trailer directly from the manufacturer. It's a few companies that you can buy manufactured direct. You can save a chunk of money that way. Because you can get a brand new dry box for about $25,000, $26,000. Yep, straight up. But you would have to go to the manufacturer and pick it up. If you can apply for a loan and some way facilitate the financing, if you don't have all the money, if you can some way get the financing or some way where you can, if you got the cash, okay, buy the trailer cash. But in some way, if you can facilitate the financing and get the trailer some way or another, I would suggest calling up Wabash Factory Direct and see if you can get their direct sales department or utilities direct sales or Great Dane or Strick. I know Strick, they sell their trailers direct. I think you can get a brand new Strick trailer brand new factory direct for like 25, 26,000 out the door with taxes and everything, about 26.5 out the door. So there's pretty much no reason to get a used trailer, in my opinion, because if you can go and get a brand new trailer factory direct, because you're looking at a good $5,000 or $6,000 in fees if you buy one through a dealer, and you can save a lot of money that way. I mean, you can go to your credit union. Credit unions and small local banks, they're real flexible on financing equipment. You probably gonna need 20% down. So my credit union does straight up commercial financing. So that means you need 20% down. You need 25% down, and they do the other 75%. That's how my credit union does it. So anything I do commercial, I have to bring 20% down. So on a $25,000 trailer, you're gonna need about $5,000 or $6,000 down. So they'll do the deal. You just gotta figure out how to do it, because you're not going through a dealer. So that's what I suggest. Going factory direct. That's what I suggest. Call up all these manufacturers. Now, of course, you can get a used trailer. Go on Craigslist. I've seen a bunch of trailers on Craigslist. A bunch of trailers. Like, I seen the 2014 trailer on Craigslist. The guy wanted $14,000 for it. It was a nice trailer. It had a scale on it. It was a nice trailer. Nice Hyundai trailer. It was well taken care of. Nice trailer. It got good tires on it. So you can go on eBay. I seen some trailers on eBay for sale. You might have to go out of state to go get it. Truck paper. You can go on truck paper. But Craigslist, I seen some trailers on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, just Googling, man. You can find you a good solid. I seen a 2006 Wabash trailer for $10,000. It was a nice trailer. It was nice. It needed a couple tires, but the overall condition of the trailer was good. And I could have paid cash for that trailer, but I just don't want to dish out that kind of money up front. So, that's my suggestion. See if you can get a brand new trailer factory direct. Call up all these trailer manufacturers and see what kind of deal that you can get. You can get a brand new dry van for $25,000, $26,000 out the door. Yeah, Jeff. Make sure make sure it's food grade. And food grade is a it's a gray area with food grade, but there's certain things you want to look for in the trailer. You don't want wood paneling in the trailer. You don't want that. You want metal composite siding on your trailer. That's what you want. And you want logistics posts. That's what you want. So when you need to strap down load or whatever, you got a very flexible, your equipment is very flexible. So that's what you want. So, if you wanted to, I pulled a load of forklifts one time. So if you want to pick up a load of forklifts one time, you can pull a load of, hell, I mean, you could probably pull a load of cars in your trailer, but you want to have, I mean, usually when you go to a trailer manufacturer and you specking out the trailer, usually this stuff is spec already. So logistics post, that's already automatically in the purchase price. But some people don't buy their trailers like that. But when you go in there and you specking the trailer and you checking them boxes, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. It's certain things you need to look for in a trailer. I think Jeffrey L has got a couple videos on specking the trailer. I think I might have a video or two specking the trailer. I'm not the grand wizard when it comes to trailers, but for doing these live videos that you do professional manner, the best way. 1,500 miles for 6K. Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, 15. Yeah. Christmas Yeah, I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you, man. I still want to get that reefer. Reefer, I don't know. In my mind, I just can't justify the cost getting a reefer. I don't know. I used to deliver new trailers from Wabash to companies for 2K a mile. No, $2 a mile. Yeah, doing power only. What's your opinion on trying to get started with the IC program? Your opinion. Um, what's my opinion on starting the IC program? I would say how about 5 or 10,000 in savings. That's the only thing I can say with the Snyder IC program. How about 10? 10. How about five to $10,000 in savings? That's all I got to say about that. Other than that, you'll do just fine. I mean, depending on where you live at, with the Snyder board, you got to be very flexible on the Snyder board. You got to be available to pull any kind of freight to be successful. That to be really successful on the Snyder board, you got to be really flexible. So you can't say, oh, I only want to run here to here. You know what I'm saying? You got to be really flexible. You want to be able to run here to here, but at times run. You want because sometimes freight might dry up. You want to go here to here, right? But freight may get slow going here to here. But then you want to go here to there. You might see a load going here to there, right? But then you might see another load coming from here back over here. So you just got to be flexible with the Snyder board. And once you start learning a freight lane in your area, you'll be successful. Like, I used to run the Southeast, but that took time to learn the Southeast. And like I've got some videos. I got 250 videos in my catalog. So I talk about the Snyder board a long time ago. I done talked about it already. And it's just like, I got videos on that. If you want to know about the Snyder board, I got a whole bunch of videos. Jeffrey got a bunch of videos talking about Snyder, learning how to run it Snyder. You got S Burger, he got a bunch of videos talking about Snyder. Snore Lord got a bunch of videos talking about Snyder. All these guys got videos on top of videos talking about Snyder. So just follow them guys. S Burger, Snore Lord, Jeffrey L, me. It's a lot of guys on YouTube that got videos talking about Snyder. So I've seen prices as high as 40,000 for the dry van and 6 for a reefer. 40,000 for a dry van. I can see a dry van being that high. I mean, but I don't. To pull regular general freight, you don't really need a $40,000 dry van, because a $40,000 dry van is one of them dry vans with side skirts. It's got the chrome plated doors, aluminum plated doors. You don't need all that stuff on the dry van, man. Just give me a plain stock dry van. It got tires on it. It's got logistic straps. It's got plated walls, and the doors locked. I don't care about all the other stuff. It's like you adding $10,000-$15,000 in accessories to a trailer when you're not gonna really see that money. You're not gonna see that money. You just not gonna see it. Just give me a stock dry van. That's all you need. And a stock dry van, you be looking at about 25,000, 26,000 factory direct. Now, if you go to a dealer, add on maybe $2,000 or $3,000 to that price. Yeah. Out the door, if you buy one from a dealer brand new, you be looking at maybe 28, 29, somewhere in there, depending on which dealer you go to. If you go to a small independent dealer, his fees maybe a little lower. If you go to a bigger brand dealer, you're probably looking at a little bit more money. But generally, if you can go factory direct and you got the resources to facilitate that sale, I will go factory direct. You save a whole lot of money that way. Reefers are expensive, but reefers, they're reefers, man. Like, the walls are thicker, the insulation is bigger. It's just reefers. That's just what they are. It's just they cost. They're expensive. Make sure the reefer is the Featherlight, and you can load the ones that pay. Those Featherlight trailers, I think that's Wabash. I think Featherlight, I think that's Wabash. I mean, all these brands of trailers got their different uh models of trailers that they call light. You know what I mean? But that Featherlight, I think that's Dryban, and basically they put wide singles on the trailers and they strip the trailer down a little bit. They don't, but I mean, a reefer trailer is gonna be heavy. That's just what it is. It's got that motor on the front. That's just what it is. If you want a good, solid reefer trailer that's gonna hold a temperature, you got to get a good quality reefer to do the job. So you really can't skip on a reefer trailer. It is what it is. But like mega carriers, they have customer accounts and they spec equipment to the customer's needs. And like being a small carrier, an independent carrier, 1 or 2 trucks, you can't afford that. You can't compete like that. You got to compete where you can compete. So if you're a small carrier, you got to get top quality equipment to do the job. So if you're looking for a reefer, you want to get the reefer that can hold a -20 temp. But like a Prime, they can go and expect equipment specifically for one customer because they pull a lot of freight for that customer. If this customer only needs temperatures, need a reefer trailer to hold a temp to like 5 degrees, they're not gonna buy. They're gonna save the $10,000 to spec the equipment specifically for that customer. So, but on the independent side, you need equipment. Your equipment needs to be versatile. So you need your reefer trailer to hold -20. So if you want to pull ice cream, seafood, bread, oranges, grapes, you know what I'm saying? Your equipment needs to be, you need to be able to pull some ice cream at -20 and pull bread at 30 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to be able to compete where you can compete, and you got to get your equipment to do your job. So a lot of guys, just talk, you know what I mean? Like, you got to look at what you're doing, man. You can't say do this and do that, you know what I mean? Because when you're independent, you pulling loads off broker boards and you dealing with brokers and stuff like that. You don't know what kind of freight you're going to be pulling day to day. But if you're a company driver or you're a big fleet and you got one customer, you know what you're going to be pulling. You got a packaging company that package meat. You know you're going to be pulling meat. Just set the temperature on the thing to about -5 degrees, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. That's it. And you just take care of that customer. You know what I'm saying? If you're pulling strawberries or tomatoes or something like that, you just set the temperature to 35 degrees, 20 degrees. I used to pull tomatoes for this one company. I used to pull bread when I pull reefer bread, tomatoes, avocados, what else we used to pull? It was when I was driving a company. So it's like, these big carriers, if a big carrier only pulls, like, for example, I was working for this company. We pulled cheese out of Wisconsin. That load only required to be at like 0 degrees or whatever. Anywhere from 0 to 5 degrees or so. So it's like, if your trailer only needs to be spec'd to hold 0 degrees, why invest that money? So you got that motor on front. Okay. You got the cooling systems on these trailers. They got like 3, 4, 5 different cooling systems. And most big carriers, they get the minimum cooling system just to do the job. They're not going to spend $10,000, $15,000 extra to do more than what it need to do. You know what I'm saying? So the point is like, okay, as an independent carrier, you have to get a very versatile equipment to do the job. I can load 47K legal. I don't know what you're talking about. The music trucker, aka Bandit, I don't know what you're talking about. You saying you can load 47K. Okay. I mean, I don't pull them kind of loads, so I mean most of my loads be 40,000 pounds or less. On occasion, I might pull a load that's 45,000, but I say on a week-to-week basis, I'm pulling loads 10, 20, 30,000 pounds, because that's what I look for on the board. But with reefer, you pulling food commodity. So ice cream, that shit is heavy. You know, unless you pull in bread. Bread is light. So I used to pull some bread, avocado, you know, berries and tomatoes and stuff like that. Ketchup packets. I used to pull for Golden State Foods. They got ketchup packets. That stuff got to be at 30 degrees. So that freight is heavy. It's about 42,000 pounds. So, I mean, if you want to pull 47,000 pound loads, hey, fine. But, you know, like I said, you got to have versatile equipment. Got that big radio. I got a big radio. Already got a lightweight truck. Got to get to work, offload these chemicals. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. Y'all up early. Where you at this morning? I'm leaving Orlando now. I'm down here in I'm in McDonough, Georgia right now. I'm in McDonough, Georgia. I got a $2,000 load going down to Tampa. And you know, I'm gonna try to find something. If I see something running, if I see something running through the holidays, I'll book it. But if I don't see nothing, I'll just go on home, you know. But yeah, man, I'm running my mouth. This ain't what I wanted to make this video about, but hey, y'all gave me some content. So, but yeah, man, I have to, I got to get off this video, man. Appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time. Who this right here? Money Sleep. I'm up early about to sign for my second home here in Social. Oh, you bought a house? Yeah, congratulations. Everybody buying houses and stuff. That ain't that ain't nothing but another bill. I'm averaging about 7.8, 17 miles per hour with that. Milkman trucker. You say la. What are you talking about? La. What are you talking about? Trying to be like you with multiple properties. Oh, you gonna rent it out? Okay. I mean, if you're gonna rent it out, that's good. Yeah. I'm trying to buy a small apartment complex. That's what I'm trying to buy. That's what I'm trying to do. I know it's gonna be hard, but you know. Yeah, I know my videos be live, but you know, guys be asking questions, man, and I just get going. You know how I just y'all get me going, man. But yeah, man, let me get off of here, man. It's an hour on this video. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time.